I believe in the law of attraction.
I'm going to believe that I'm going to be better than him.
It's something that it's like an internal belief.
So I just feel it in my whole being that I'm the best fighter on the planet.
I honestly have convinced myself that I'm not designed to lose.
Power of the mind.
And I believe that that you can speak things into existence. And I believe that when you know where you're going and you know what you want, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you.
Do you meditate, Jon?
I used to meditate a lot. Now I'm more big into visualization.
When did you used to meditate?
Right around 2010, 2011. I went through this huge spiritual thing where I became obsessed with the power of the mind, and I got into it deep, like really deep, just meditation, visualization, and just realizing how powerful our minds actually are, like how we really do paint our world with our thoughts and our level of self-belief. And right around 2010, I just took myself to this different mental level. So I took myself from being very average-minded to actually believing that I was the shit, and believing that I could be the shit and that I could be the GOAT and be the greatest and never lose. And like, I took myself to a different place mentally, and a lot of it came from mental practice and meditation and visualization and just seeking knowledge from people who are strong believers, guys like Les Brown and Tony Robbins and guys like that. I just became really obsessed with just learning about the power of the mind. So I used to meditate. Now I just I have a lot of things that stuck with me, a lot of ways of believing that stuck with me, that just subconsciously I know who I am, what I'm capable of, and how I believe, and how powerful my mind actually is.
I honestly believe that I was born to fight. I really believe it in my whole heart, and some people think that's silly. But I think a lot of great athletes, people who are really good at what they do, it's more than just what they can do in the gym. It's something that starts way before they're known in the arenas. It's something that it's like an internal belief. I have the worst anxiety. I get very nervous, but I owe it to myself to not be afraid. And when you believe that you're gifted outside of just the hard work, then it's just like, bro, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna roll the dice.
Yeah, he might be a better wrestler than me, but like I said, you gotta have confidence in yourself. So even if collegiately he had a better career than me, I'm gonna believe that I'm gonna be better than him. It's the power of the mind, and I believe that I'm gonna stuff his takedowns. And if he does take me down, I believe that I'll be amazing on my back. It's just gotta think for the best and train for the worst.
What do you think the sport's going to be, when UFC 200 rolls around? And where do you think you're going to be 9 years from now, 10 years from now?
I'm hoping to be a champion.
Yeah.
Keep the fans excited. The UFC is growing, and it's just a tremendous thing to be a part of. It's changed my life, and I embrace what it is to the fullest. I'm just excited to be a part of it. I have a lot of pride in it.
So with Rampage Jackson, I kept having these nightmares that I would get knocked out. And no matter how the fight played out, I would always get knocked out. And it was always within the first 30 seconds of the fight. So, one scenario I'd run out, he'd run at me, swing a huge overhand right. The other, he would throw a right uppercut. And then another dream, it was a left hook. And I couldn't avoid this inevitable knockout that I was going to experience in the first round. So I call those red zone thoughts, and I actually learned that from Rashad Evans. When you have a negative thought, immediately cancel it with a positive thought. Instead of thinking of somebody beating your ass, you think of yourself exhausted, you're winning, fight's almost over. Sure. Just think something positive. And I just couldn't avoid these images and actual nightmares of Rampage Jackson knocking me out. So on fight night, I felt like I was going to get knocked out. I was getting these signals from a higher power that, like, Jon, this is going to happen to you tonight. And I couldn't avoid it. So I just had this super deep prayer where I got down on my knees and I touched my body from my head to my toe for the first time. And I prayed this prayer asking God to just give me the supernatural, like, reaction abilities, speed, flexibility, awareness. And as I was praying this prayer and touching myself and rubbing myself and meaning every ounce of this, thinking my life is on the line, I noticed, looking at myself, that I was covered in feathers. I was covered in white feathers.
Like a hallucination?
It wasn't a hallucination, man. It was
real as fuck to you.
It was very real to me. It was very real to me. I could see myself covered in, like, there was like small feathers in between my fingers, and I was covered in feathers, and they came up like to my neck, and my face was still like normal, not in feathers, but my hands and feet were covered. And I felt like I was like this fighting thing that wasn't earthly, almost. And I like felt this surge of energy, power, flexibility, mental acuity and awareness and sharpness that I had never experienced before. And I like jumped off my knees and like landed on both feet immediately, and I was just like, woo! Woo! And I was just, Wendy's like, my coach was just looking at me like they could feel like, okay, he is pumped up. And Coach Winkle John's like, let's hit. And immediately I kicked the pad, and it was like, boom. And it was like, whoa. And like my kicks were lightning fast, and I didn't need to stretch anymore. I didn't need to warm up my lungs anymore. My kicks were going up high. I was jumping higher. I was kicking faster and higher. It was an unbelievable experience, and I actually was able to hang on to this feeling and this illusion of myself being in this alter ego all the way through the cage, all the way through my walk to the cage. And I felt like in that Rampage Jackson fight, I walked into that fight as this Featherman for the first time, and my idea to crawl towards him was the only thing that had it happen in all my nightmares, right? Because in every fight I started on my feet. So something just said, get on your knees and crawl up to him. And then automatically the dream voids itself. Now to this day, I say that same kind of prayer over myself, and I believe that I transform into something.
When you were in that fight, was time slowed down for you? Were you kind of like...
Things weren't slowed down, but you get to this belief place that you are more than human at the moment, and then you believe that things, as far as just on every realm, are not designed to go against you at this moment. This is cool. You're actually living in your actual purpose at this moment. This was exactly what you're designed and born to be doing. This is your mark, and at this moment, I'm being used by my higher power to like
fuck shit up.
Pretty much.
Yeah, dude.
Pretty much.
A lot of people were surprised when they found out that you've been signing your name as Champ 2011. How did that come about?
I believe in the law of attraction, and I believe that that you can speak things into existence. And I believe that when you know where you're going and you know what you want, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you. And me signing my signature with Champion 2011 on it, it can't hurt me. It can't hurt me. It could only help me to believe it even more. So yeah. I mean, it works for me.